Somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt. Now he takes off the shirt. He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs to the 50. He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms. Bare-chested. Somebody stop that man. Oh, they got him. Oh, they got him. They're coming from the left. Oh, they got him. Bang, bang, bang in his chest. Bang, bang. The guy is drunk.
Welcome to Fantasy and Chill Week 13. First week of playoffs here in fantasy football. I'm your quarterback, Ryan Keller, joined by a Wolverine over here, Ethan Hargrave.
What's up, baby? Feels good. Feels good.
Always.
Yeah.
And as always, producer Matt.
Gee, I don't get no good nickname like Wolverine.
I called you producer Matt, didn't just call you Matt.
You can call me Nintendo.
Old school Matt.
There you go, old school.
Old school.
Even though I'm the youngest one.
That is true.
I had to think about that for a second, but I am. Can confirm.
Yeah. Busy week this week in fantasy football. Lots of things to get to tonight. We'll hit on some big news that everybody's aware of by now, a little later. But first, let's start it off like we always do with our
Fantasy Studs.
Fantasy Studs.
Fantasy studs.
First stud this week is your number one overall fantasy player for 2018. That is quarterback Patrick Mahomes. He was 23 of 38 for 295 yards and 4 touchdowns. Also added 9 carries for 52 yards. So my thing that stands out to me is with the news that we're going to talk about later about who's no longer with us in this fantasy football season. He finally gets to utilize his legs for the first time this season.
He's got legs.
52 rushing yards on 9 carries. That adds a little, like, not that he needed his floor to rise at all, but that floor is going to kick up just a little bit more than it already was.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he's been rushing for about that amount this entire time. I guess he. Okay, I'm looking at it now. He did get. I mean, he's been, but because I was looking
a
at
couple times he got a rushing touchdown, but he never had the yards like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I was wrong. But he's been rushing quite. He's had at least 4 rushes quite a few times. He just doesn't get the yards, and that's like he's mentioned. It's probably why, because Spencer Ware, he ain't it, Chief. He ain't it.
Feels bad,
we'll
man.
get to him in a little bit, but I still think there's some good potential there.
He could be like even. So if you watch the game, and we were talking about in our text messages, he underthrew Tyreek Hill a few times.
He didn't underthrow him. He overthrew him.
Sorry, overthrew him.
Which is very impressive. Don't sell him short like that, Matt. Okay.
If you can overthrow Tyreek Hill, then you're doing something right.
Overthrew the fastest player in the league.
But what I would be worried about is, and Ethan can answer this question, is he going to take a step back like Deshaun Watson did this year?
I'm going to say no.
You talking about for next year?
For next year, yeah, sorry.
About to say, I don't think he's slowing down this year.
Because the big difference being Andy Reid.
I was about to say, I got 2 words why he ain't going to step back, and that's Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. So, Andy Reid versus Bill O'Brien.
That's a AFC Coach of the Year, Bill O'Brien. You watch your mouth.
No, I'm sorry. That's
Well, it might be AFC Coach of the Year, Andy Reid, this year too. So
Andy Reid, okay.
Ethan, that's your longest winning streak in the world, Houston Texans.
Congratulate. Okay, like 3 of those.
Now entering your Houston Texans segment of this podcast.
I'll say the defense does look a lot better now. It's looking okay. I'll give him that. Deshaun Watson's looking pretty good. The offense is looking a little bit better. But the offensive line scares the fuck out of me. It really does.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if you know. We could have went for a touchdown in the first half if we had a coach that could.
What does he have to do, man? He can't lose.
Played one installment of Madden for 30 minutes can manage a clock better than Bill O'Brien, okay? Anybody that's played Madden before for 30 minutes.
I'm going to tie this back into the Chiefs real quick and Mahomes. Claudia brings up a good point in chat saying that the Chiefs have too many weapons, and I agree with that. They have way more weapons that the Texans have.
They're losing weapons every day.
That's true too.
This is Andy Reid has a system that he's been refining over the years, and he knows exactly what he wants for his skill positions, and it pans out nicely. We got Kiki who can't get his hammies right, like it's just kind of bad luck. But I don't even know why I'm talking about Texans again. But yeah, he's not going to regret. I don't think he's going to regress. He's going to keep doing well. The only thing. Yeah, he's going to do well. Let's just stop. I need to stop thinking about Texas.
I'll just say this is prime.
Question about. You go for it, Matt.
I was just saying this is prime territory for Le'Veon to enter into the Kansas City.
Bills, hey.
How about this? So, well, you already know I'm of the stance that you don't ever draft a quarterback early. But where's Mahomes going to go next year?
I think
third round.
Where Rodgers went this year.
Yeah, Rodgers went. Yeah, I guess beginning of third round, but I see him going ahead of that.
Someone will reach for him. I think he's probably going to be third round value, though.
Third round value?
As in, you should draft him third round. He should be going where Aaron Rodgers goes.
Yeah, how'd that work out this year for Aaron Rodgers drafters?
Well, I mean, it's where he should have gone. Aaron Rodgers should have went fifth round, honestly, this year.
Exactly.
But what can you do? I didn't draft Aaron Rodgers, so
what can you do?
I don't care. But I see Mahomes going third or fourth round, and that's he could go second. He shouldn't be drafted second.
Let's get to our second fantasy quarterback. That is the rookie, Josh Allen. 18 of 33 yards, 18 of 33 for 231 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also threw 2 interceptions. But he added 9 carries for 135 yards and a 2-point conversion. Now, over the last 2 weeks, he has 234 yards rushing. That's crazy. He's a top 5 rusher the last 2 weeks in the league.
Silly.
Yeah, he's going to beat Tom Brady's career rushing yards this season.
Yeah, just about.
Oh, but we're kind of talking about.
He could have even had more points if you watch the end of the game. He had a wide open guy in the end zone to win the game, and he underthrew him.
He should have made that catch, though. You got to come back to the ball more than that.
He threw a duck, Matt.
Yeah,
he just would have thrown the ball.
You got to catch that, though. Like, fucking lay out or something. You got to catch it.
He did
even though it was
out.
A duck. But you just
okay. If you're standing in the back of the end zone and Josh Allen throws it, who has one of the strongest arms in the NFL, you're like, okay, he's getting it to me, and then you see it wobbling. That's pretty hard to run up 10 yards and catch it.
When you have no guys in 50 yards of you, or not that many, but he was, like you said, he was wide open.
He was wide.
You do whatever you can to catch that ball.
We'll go out, Matt, and you go stand in the back. I'll throw you a duck and see if you come up and catch it.
Okay, well, that's what I expect from you, though.
I'm not Brit.
That's the difference. Yeah. So we were kind of talking about Mahomes being like a guy that just got picked off waivers. This could potentially be a guy next year that you can pick up off waivers or get really late in the draft that's going to get you a lot of rushing yards. I wrote down Lamar Jackson Light just because I wanted to bring that up.
Lamar Jackson Light or what?
Here we go again.
No, I'll tell you what he is right now is he may be a league winner this year if you had quarterback issues and you picked him up a couple weeks ago.
Yep. He's got the Jets and the Lions coming up, and neither one of those matchups scare you.
He already had 27 and 29.7 the last 2 weeks. He plays the Jets and the Lions and then at the Patriots, which that could be tricky, but
yeah. Well, I guess we will say that they just cut Kelvin Benjamin too. Not that really matters, but
yeah. And
back to the bakery.
Other guy.
Yeah, some other wide receiver that they have. But okay,
what a terrible season.
Another thing I will say real quick is that the beginning of the season you could stream defenses against the Bills. I don't think you can do that anymore.
Well, the defense has always been pretty solid.
Not with the Jets and the
Fairly
Lions coming
solid.
up. Patriots maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Josh Allen could be a surprise league winner for some people.
Oh, you're saying for streams. Okay. I'm sorry. I trained what I said.
Yeah.
You had it backwards. Yeah.
I had it backwards, yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
How
okay,
about
Dad?
It's all good.
our first stud running back? This is my running back now. My running
I
back,
hate him.
You're running back.
Philip Lindsay. Just taking the league by storm the last 3 weeks. 19 carries for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also added 1 catch for 2 yards. This guy is unbelievable. And he's still not touching the ball enough. This guy needs to touch it 25 times a game. He's leading the league in rushing last 2 weeks.
I didn't want to say, so I don't really like him just based on his personality, but I got to admit he's a good running back. But will you give me some credit when I said earlier in the year that he could potentially take over his backfield and Freeman would get pushed to the bench? I don't know if y'all remember that. Probably not. I get no respect around here. But I
So
said
you like
it.
the Ronnie Dangerfield
talked
of
about that.
fantasy and chill, or what? No respect. I
No
don't know about
respect.
that. I don't know about that.
But, I mean, he has been out touching Freeman, which is good if you own Lindsay. So you're not really worried about Freeman coming back. I think he's been back 2 weeks now. Hasn't really done much. It's been the Freeman show, and he's got San Fran next week.
You know, what if you're Denver right now, and didn't you waste a 4th round pick on Freeman? 3rd round pick? What? When did they draft him? And then you get
I don't
this
know, but I
undrafted-
still think when he's healthy, they got a nice little combo there that they can use. So
Yeah.
I still like Freeman. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think Freeman's going anywhere, but the running back to own is going to be Lindsay. You're not gonna be playing Freeman in your fantasy lineups.
I still think he needs like 10 more pounds on him.
I think this is
10 or 15 more solid pounds.
this is a could be a poor man's Kamara Ingram.
Yes.
A
Kamara
very poor
Ingram
man's
light.
Kamara Ingram.
Not that poor. I mean, Lindsey's a stud.
No, he is, but I'd much rather have Ingram over Freeman.
Well, yeah, right now. But I'm saying next year.
Yeah, we'll see. So speaking of next year, I wrote down where do you see Philip Lindsay going in the draft next year?
2nd round.
2nd round.
Really? That high?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a top 10 running back right now.
No, I know,
Mid
but
2nd, early 3rd.
He's already up to number 10 when he didn't even become a stud to the last second half of the season.
there's always those running backs that do well one year and then they fall, and he's not the Broncos aren't a good offense. It's not like they can keep it. They might get game plan against Lindsay.
They don't use Case Keenum correctly.
Tell you what, how's this
No, I
for
agree.
bold?
Okay,
Philip Lindsay will finish as the number 6 running back.
this year?
Yeah.
Is that bold? You already said he's top 10.
Yeah, but he's 60 points out of top 6.
Bold tacos, man.
Let me look at it real quick.
Oh,
He's
while
got
you're
it
at
in a
it,
second.
we need a Deshaun watch. That's what we need. Where we at with Deshaun Watson?
Okay, so Melvin Gordon might
Where's
not
he at?
play. James Conner might not
Exactly.
play. Kareem Hunt. It's not that bold. And then
For Philip Lindsay to be a top 6 running back.
and then James White hasn't been performing. I think bold. I think there's no way that could happen. I could see a
What do you
possibility.
mean the odds are still against him to finish top
Yeah.
6? That's pretty. He's 60 points out of it.
What, with 3 weeks left? 4 weeks left? 3, I think.
4.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
That's why it's bold. I mean, it could happen. It's just. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. But I'm not saying you would be wrong there, which is why it's not too bold.
Long story short, he's a beast.
Yeah.
What were you saying about Deshaun, Ethan?
I think Deshaun's crept in the top 10. QBs?
Actually, I want to save that conversation for later.
Oh, okay.
That's what I kind of wrote down at the bottom when I said top 5. That was my kind of thing. We're going to talk about people that could squeeze in there.
Squeeze.
I kind of jumped the gun early on the Philip Lindsay top 6 talk, so that was my fault. Moving on, our second running back stud is your number 2 overall fantasy player, Todd Gurley. Again, 23 carries for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also added 3 catches for 33 yards. If you paid attention to how his game was going or watched Red Zone, he really didn't do anything till like the end of the third quarter, and then he got like 2 quick touchdowns right at the end to kind of salvage the day for him. He was still, going to have 15 points or so, but ended up at over 30. Just keeps trucking along.
I mean, Todd Gurley doing Todd Gurley things, The beat what do you expect?
On, yeah, and the beat goes on, yeah, and the beat goes on.
But the beat goes on, yeah.
That's really all it's been. I think they learned from 2 weeks ago when they played Kansas City. Just give Gurley the ball and you'll be all right. Not much to say. He's dominating the way Mahomes is dominating the quarterbacks. He's almost doubled Philip Lindsay in points, and Philip Lindsay's number 10.
Yeah, he is 33 points ahead of the number 2 running back.
Yeah.
Yowza.
I guess the only thing to say, we've already talked about Gurley enough, really. The only thing to say about him is Malcolm Brown's out for the year, so if you're trying to handcuff him, pick up John Kelly.
John Kelly, or I think the other guy's name was like Justin Davis.
Any relation to Fat Rob?
I hope not. Because he wouldn't be worth it. I don't know what happened to him, but he was my boy last year.
He wasn't terrible.
He wasn't.
Burger
That's the thing.
King happened to him.
I guess so. He went on the Eddie Lacy diet.
I feel bad for that guy. He just got hurt like every other play, it seemed like. And he was a hard runner. And he was fairly solid, but he just could not stay on the field,
How about our third? We got a third this week. Our third running back stud. This is for you, Ethan. This should make you happy.
What's up?
Tariq Cohen.
I knew it. Yeah.
He was 1 of 1 passing for 1 yard and 1 touchdown.
Hell yeah.
What a ballsy
also
play.
had 8 carries for 30 yards. And then 12 catches for 156 yards. He was doing it all this week.
Blowing it up, man. And that pass was on the run, mind you.
That was a hell of a play. That was ballsy as the last play of the game.
That was pretty. Woo. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they went for that. I was like, oh man, he's gonna get stopped. Oh wait, he's throwing And I woke up the baby, but
wait, what?
It's really they're putting this guy to good use finally. It seems like they're doing the opposite of what John Fox was doing. He's definitely not on the fucking bench. Thank God.
But you gotta feel bad for Howard though. Like Howard's a good running back. He just doesn't fit the system.
And I think I've been over this earlier in the season where I talked about how I kind of reached a little bit for Jordan Howard. I was real big on him.
Oh, a lot of people did.
But I reached for him a little bit. But that was my guy. I reached for him. I don't feel bad about it. But luckily, I had the foresight to hold on to Tariq Cohen, and I made the switch to starting Tariq Cohen over him.
And it paid off.
And it's paid off. He's helped me. He's had a couple of kind of downer weeks, but for the most part, he's been a really solid RB2 for me. Like super solid. I couldn't be happier, and it makes me happy to see him on the field.
Yeah, and he's currently your number 12 running back.
Yeah, that's solid, bro.
Oh yeah.
I think Chase Daniels playing helps.
What'd you say?
I was saying I think Chase Daniels being the quarterback helps because it's like this check down target. So once Trubisky comes back, you could see some regression. But they are playing the Rams, so you're not going to be able to run against the Rams. You can't keep up with them running the ball.
No. And I feel bad for Jordan Howard, especially with the past, couple of years he's had, but especially last year where it was such a fucking horrible offense they had. He had to live through that. And even though it was a horrible offense, he still put up really solid numbers, really good numbers. It just looked like he was primed to go off this year, but it's been, Tariq Cohen's been. He's just the more dynamic back.
Yep.
He's an incredible athlete.
He fits the Nagy system.
He's the best offensive weapon that they have.
Oh yeah.
And why he was on the bench last year, whenever they had these grocery sackers lining up in X and Y, NC. Sorry, I mean,
I used to be a grocery sacker.
Name 2 wide receivers on their team that played more than 5 games last season. I can't do it.
Taylor Gabriel. That's all I got.
Did he?
He was on the Falcons last year.
Did he?
No, he was on the Falcons.
There you go.
Oh, for their team. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Maybe was Emmett on their team? Anybody?
No,
I don't know.
I think you're right. Yeah, they.
It was bad, and they kept that guy. They kept one of the most explosive offensive players in the league.
I don't even know who was on it. Who was their wide receivers last year?
Kevin White.
No, he was dead.
Well, he was on their team.
He was on their team, but did he play more than 5 games? No. Nobody.
And they had a trade for I forgot who it was in the middle of the season. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, it just wasn't. It didn't pan out. It wasn't worth it. Whatever it was.
We're showing our knowledge right now. Let's move on.
I'm trying to think. I can't even.
Do you see what I'm saying? They were so insignificant.
They had
John
Zach
Fox
Miller.
had this guy on the freaking bench all year. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, let's get to our wide receivers. First wide receiver, Keenan Allen, 14 catches on 19 targets for 148 yards and a touchdown. Also had a 2-point conversion. This is classic Keenan Allen. Start off super slow and then explode at the end of the year.
Touchdown, 4 straight games. They call him second half Keenan Allen on the Reddits. I think you got to give some respect to Phillip Rivers as well.
I heard he was targeted on like almost 60% of his routes. That's pretty stupid. That's awesome.
All right.
Like oh, he's back. I didn't know you got lost.
Yeah. Well, I was sitting there. I was on my other page looking at stats, and I said, "Talk about your boy, Matt." And then no one was talking. I was like, "Why aren't y'all talking?" And I go back, like, "Oh, I'm frozen."
Oh, is this my boy? Okay.
It's you, not us.
So this
is your boy, right?
There's I mean, last year it was. This year, I mean, I like him. But there's
number 12 or number 11 wide receiver.
There's multiple reasons why he's been so Gordon's been out. One, they can't run the ball. We saw that last game. And against the Steelers, I don't know if y'all watched the game, but 2 Steelers tackled each other in the end zone to help him make a crazy ass touchdown, and he got a 2-point conversion.
So before their bye week, he had a couple like decent weeks, but mostly staying around like the 10 to 12 range, 10, 11. Since their bye week, he's gone 19, 15, 20, 17, 31.
Yeah. I was saying, I don't know if you heard this, but it has a lot to do with Phillip Rivers playing very well this year too. Only quarterback to throw multiple touchdowns in every game.
Super solid.
Yep. Another guy you could have picked up super late too this year.
Yep.
Super solid. Gosh darn Phillip Rivers.
Gosh darn.
Congratulations. Expecting his 9th kid. So.
Yeah,
I was about to say, is he on 109 or 109?
Dominic Cromartie path.
Trying to make a full team. Well, now they have a full team with him and his wife.
Yeah. Ooh. The full offense there.
They play 2-way, both ways.
Okay. All right, we won't read into that. Let's
talk about the wife, or
I'm talking about everybody on the team. They play offense and defense.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Weirdos.
Okay. Sorry, dude.
Second stud.
Your boy,
son of Astros third base coach, Dante Pettis.
What?
5 catches for 129 yards, 2 touchdowns.
The windmill.
I'm sure he got waved. He got waved home a lot growing up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
this
is 2 weeks in a row for Pettis. 3 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. With pretty much all their wide receivers have been hurt, so he's had to step up.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's a burner. He's got those big plays, sort of a Deshaun Jackson style. Deshaun Jackson light.
God.
poor man's Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson. I'm not.
Yeah, let's just don't even fight on
Let's
that.
just leave it at that.
We got to get away from this stuff.
What does Dante Pettis do for y'all?
That much?
Not much,
He
huh?
doesn't do much, but he's so 3% owned. I'm sure he's going to make the segment a little bit later. Definitely a guy you can pick up. Probably. Unless you're in some crazy
This
league.
screams classic case of people panicking to start him in their playoff matchup, and he puts up 3 this week.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, they're playing Denver. Denver has been showing their defense isn't as bad as it was in the beginning of the season. He has been getting a lot of targets, though. So, like Ryan said, it's one of those guys that's going to be boom or bust. Deshaun Jackson.
And he's had 2 booms in a row, so the bust is coming.
The bust will be coming at some point.
Bust is coming. He's
can
going to be
promise you that.
busting.
So don't expect much from him. But if you have to start him, this might be a guy you can.
We are blessed this week with a 3rd wide receiver fantasy stud.
Bless him.
My former boy. Had to trade him away. Had to do some things, but Antonio Brown,
jersey.
my 1st-round pick, 10 catches for 154 yards and a touchdown. Antonio Brown doing Antonio Brown things.
What else can you say? Expected.
I find him on here. Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say is like, why were people getting angry at the beginning of the year? I don't know if they're getting angry, but people are just like, oh, what is it like?
Well, he started off 19, 11, 14, 14. So it's solid numbers, but it's not Antonio Brown numbers.
That's what I'm saying. So you're pissed because you drafted him 1st round, but you had to have known. I think we even talked about this at the beginning of the season. You had to have known he was gonna start coming on at some point.
Oh yeah, like I wasn't worried at all. I knew he was gonna get that Wi-Fi connection figured out. Remember when we did our ranking show? I had him as my number 1 receiver going forward. Like I knew he was coming.
Yeah,
but I had to trade him, but I still love him.
And what's so now we'll talk about it a little bit in depth later, but Connor's going to be out next week. So
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert if you haven't heard and you own Connor. Yeah. So they might have to throw the ball a little bit more, and they're playing against Oakland. And Oakland is shit.
Whoa.
They are.
The town or the football team?
I haven't been to the town. Haven't heard great things. I won't speak on it, but the football team is shit.
Fair enough.
Real quick before we move on to Antonio Brown, Claudia says, is Pettis upside higher than Reynolds? I will say yes.
Yes. His upside is higher, but his floor is way lower.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Ethan
Abstain.
Okay. Plead the 5th. We also have a tight end stud this week. Sorry. As you all know, Matt made the playoffs in our league, and he's heavy underdog going in. He's got the worst team of the bunch.
Come on. Need some respect.
But what he does have is
a certain set of skills.
A man that plays tight end that is carrying his fantasy team right now. Travis Kelce, 12 more catches, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. As me and Matt were talking a little bit before the show, this could easily have been a 40 burger put up.
Oh, easily.
He had 1 touchdown catch overturned where his knee barely scraped the ground. Another one where they threw to him a slant in the end zone and he dropped it. It's had the potential to be 40 or 50 points.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. And I was looking, I was like, I drafted him 3rd round, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually where you draft like a wide receiver 2, maybe a higher wide receiver 1, or I should say a lower wide receiver 1. Right now, you would be a wide receiver 6.
You mean the 6th wide receiver, not a wide receiver 6?
Yes, he would be number 60 wide receiver. He'd be the number 6 wide receiver ahead of 1st round pick DeAndre Hopkins.
Whoa.
Yeah, barely.
I too drafted a tight end early, I'm a big believer in getting a tight end early because I don't like throwing out Njoku or scrambling to stream, Kyle Rudolph or whoever, I don't like that. I like set it, forget it tight ends because and let's face it, there's three of them. You got Kelsey, you got Ertz, and then when healthy, you got Gronk. And after that, the disparity. Okay, yeah, we can start talking Kittle a little bit. Okay, let's say it's 3.5 guys, okay, that you can feel good about.
Well, Kittle's half and Gronk's half make a whole. So
there you go. Three guys.
Okay, so let's just say after that, the drop off in talent is just so noticeable that it's so worth it in my eyes to get a set and forget it tied in always. And I want to say that's what has helped attribute to my success. Over the years.
I don't agree with that, but
I'm with you for the certain value. So obviously Kelsey was looking back now, great value in the 3rd round. Gronk hasn't performed as well, but I still think he was a 2nd round value at the beginning of the year. I think Kittle will be up there next year, and you could probably get him 6, maybe. I would take him there.
We got Ertz in the 4th round somehow.
Yeah, Ertz went pretty late in our draft.
Ertz went 6th in our league, so
yeah.
I mean, but Ertz is also a bit what? I can't remember the worst week that he's had. He's gonna be.
Ertz been solid too. I think he's
tight end too.
Solid.
Yeah. Dr. Dartez in the chat agrees with Kelsey's been carrying me, considering I'm playing him in the playoffs right now.
Derek's team is loaded, and he's gonna beat you.
What's the score right now, bro?
Matt's only down 9 points.
I'm down 9 points. Yeah, Kelsey, like I said, Kelsey carried me this week, so he's my boy. I'll suck his dick along with Melvin Gordon. Along with Melvin Gordon if he plays this week.
Banana Gateway.
Banana Gateway, just to get him out there,
Is Derek still in the chat?
You have to answer that himself. I don't know.
Derek, if you're still there, tell me what you're thinking with who you starting at quarterback this week. You still starting Dak, or you throwing Tommy B back out there?
He says, "Don't jinx me, killer." I don't know if he heard that. He probably didn't hear that yet, but he isn't still in chat, so we'll see his
So when you
answer
hear
in a
that,
second.
Derek, you can respond. You starting Dak or Tom this week?
Don't give him any tips, all right? And
I'm just letting him answer the question.
Thank you, Captain Spenny, for joining the show. Got a good show, boys. He says yes. Derek.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So he doesn't know either.
He's got to think about it. Let's get to our. Wait, you got something?
Oh no, I got some music to play for these.
Yeah. All right, where's my music? Where's my background music?
Well, you gotta tell us what we're talking about first.
We are live in our news and notes segment now.
About what?
What do you mean talking about what?
About a bunch of guys
dying? I don't know if we should play this for the first guy, considering the circumstances. He did a terrible thing, Matt.
He's dead in fantasy.
Yeah, but he was dishonorably discharged. I don't know if they play taps for those guys.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I'll stop it.
My God. So obviously everybody knows by now.
He killed the girl though. Maybe.
So are you playing taps for her?
Sure, let's go.
Okay. So Kareem Hunt, he apparently before the season started, he got in a little altercation with a female. The Chiefs in the NFL supposedly knew about it. They didn't think it was that bad. They trusted his story that he told, whatever that story was, and he's been playing the whole year. Been a top 5 running back. I mean, been a stud. We've talked about him many times on this show. So on Friday, a little video comes out which shows Kareem Hunt shoving the girl to the ground and kicking her, which went against what the Chiefs and NFL thought they knew, went against what he said. So Kareem Hunt not only was sent home, he was cut by the Kansas City Chiefs. He is now
Very surprising.
unemployed. Really did not see that coming when the news first dropped. The very big surprise on Friday. It left Kareem Hunt owners scrambling everywhere and hoping, I hope for the sake of them, that they were Spencer Ware owners, which our Kareem Hunt owner is a Spencer Ware owner. But yeah, Kareem Hunt is no longer employed in the National Football League.
Thank you, Ethan.
What was going on back there?
We had to find a binky.
Got a naked boy in the background.
Yeah. We had bath time, and the baby needed his binky. Binky was in here. Yeah, it's nothing but the highest production value around here.
It's all good. What you get with live podcasts. I will speak on Kareem Hunt real quick though. Thank you. Ethan blocking his webcam. Well done. That if you do own Kareem Hunt in redraft leagues, you can probably drop him. I don't think you need to be keeping on. He's not going to play this week or this year, I should say.
Yeah, I don't think he's definitely this year. And even if he does get picked up, he'll be suspended.
Yeah.
They already said he'll be suspended. So this year will not be it. Now the thing going forward is, will anybody even sign him next year?
I think someone's going to get him for cheap.
A lot of people are comparing this to the Ray Rice situation, but the thing with Ray Rice is that he was on the down. He was going down already. He already had an off year the year before. Like, he was getting old. Kareem Hunt's in his second year. He's in the prime of his career right now.
Yeah, he's similar to like Mark Ingram this year. So Mark Ingram had the 4-game suspension. Kareem Hunt's is going to be longer than that, I assume. I think it has to be at least 6 for domestic violence. So if he does get signed, you might be able to get him super late in your draft. He's got the talent for sure. But you only keep him this year if you're in a keeper league.
Maybe someone should just sign him and play him at kicker.
Is that possible?
No, you didn't get the joke.
Oh, god damn.
Come on, guys.
Okay, my bad. Yeah.
Too soon, man.
Jeez.
I had to think about it. I'll admit. Okay, whoosh. I need
Went
a
right
whoosh.
over y'all's heads.
It really did.
Too soon.
I feel like an idiot now. Okay.
Oh, man.
So they did re-sign Kendrick West. And
Charizard
West. Yep, Charizard West.
Spencer Ware, he didn't have the greatest of weeks this week. How many points did he put up? He still put up
He had a touchdown. I think he had around 14.
Yeah, he still put up 13 or 14 points, which is decent. But I think he's still going to be a viable option going forward. So don't panic on Spencer Ware just yet.
He's not what you're getting from Kareem Hunt is.
No, he can't. He cannot replace Kareem Hunt. Nobody could have. But he will still get you, I think, RB2 numbers. So
yeah. What I'm worried about is they might go to more of a running back by committee because Damon Williams didn't look too bad. And then they signed West, who's been in the system before. People in Spenny got the joke. So you got one guy on your team. And then Boney's McJoney says tough crowd tonight.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to be serious over here. I'm trying to get people their information they need, and you're over here making jokes about kicking people.
You're playing taps for a guy that committed domestic violence.
Because he's dead. Because he killed the girl.
Is he dead or she dead?
He also had 2 other incidents too that just are now coming
apparently
out.
This guy's just a giant scumbag, and
who knew?
They're hiding it from everybody.
I mean, one of them was just he got in a fight at a nightclub. Okay, whatever. That happens.
Yeah, that happens.
Well, Matt, I've seen you fight at the bar. I've seen it.
Never in my life.
Matt, I didn't know you were a fighter.
See these guns?
Watch out. Watch out.
I don't fight, I shoot.
Oh, whoa.
Strong words coming from a libtard.
True. God damn. Now we're getting political.
Let's keep it above the belt, okay, guys?
Hey, you could play
tabs
for this next guy because he really did die.
Well, I'm not, but I already played it. But
he was on my team. I had to drop him. AJ Green. He tried to come back from that foot injury a little too soon. Re-broke the foot. Having surgery. Out for the rest of the year. If you were relying on AJ Green as your number 1 wide receiver in the playoffs, I feel really bad for you. That sucks.
Game over, man.
Game over, man.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Game over.
What the fuck are we gonna do now?
I can tell you what you're gonna do now. You're gonna start Tyler Boyd if you have him.
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna
Boyd's
do.
solid.
What about John Ross?
What about John
We kind of
Ross?
talked about this. Was it a couple weeks ago? He was on our
Here's
waiver
the
wire.
Shit out of me, John Ross.
Probably similar to, well, not similar to Pettis, but it's just a guy. If you're in your playoffs, you're not confident starting him. Tyler Boyd, he's been doing what he's been doing, whether or not Green's been in there or not.
Yeah.
And Joe Mixon looked well last week, so I don't think it affected him as much.
Let's pour another one out, just maybe for this week. But James Conner, as we already mentioned, is going to be out this week. I went ahead, even though I was not a James Conner owner, I had a roster spot I could afford, so I picked up Jalen Samuels last week, and I'm actually going to start him this week. So worked out for me. Didn't work out so well for our Conner owner, but make sure you have Jalen Samuels. I really think he has great potential in that offense, especially I think they're going to dump it off a bunch to him. So in PPR, I think he'll get a bunch of catches. I don't know. I like what I see out of him. I like him.
Yeah, if this isn't a reason we talked about last week, fucking pick up your handcuffs for the playoffs. This is why.
I can't believe we had that discussion last week, and then like 3 of them went down.
Yeah,
in like a matter of a few days. So hopefully you
Melvin
listen
Gordon,
to us.
Kareem Hunt,
Was fake.
James Conner, and now one of the handcuffs actually got injured, which is weird. But yeah, this is the time you start picking up handcuffs.
Oh, we're past that time.
Not the kinky handcuffs.
I mean, if you're into it, that's fine too.
Yeah.
You should have got those earlier though, when you first found out your kink. Get the fuzzy pink ones.
I was gonna say something, but
God.
What is this show turning into?
I don't know.
Last guy, he is not gonna play this week. Matt Breida, the
Breida filter.
He gets hurt about every week. Matt should know. Been dealing with him all year. When he plays, he's solid, but he always bangs up something. So Jeff Wilson will be plugging in this week for the 49ers. And so if you own Breida and you've been starting him, try to pick up Wilson on waivers this week, but he's probably going to be a high waiver claim for whoever's up high on your waiver priority.
Yeah.
Y'all agree with that?
Oh, with what's left, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks pretty good in his limited action.
Yeah.
Let me just say something real quick. When you said Breida gets hurt every game, I was surprised to find out this is going to be the first game Breida's missed since high school.
Crazy.
Yeah, he hasn't missed a game, but every game he leaves early.
Yeah,
he dies every game. Yeah, you got to respect it. You got to respect it.
Sure, yeah. Matt, what time do you have to be done by?
Around 8:15.
Oh, okay, we still got time. I was going to cut a segment, but
we got a baller.
We can run through the waivers because waivers at this time of year kind of
Well, I was just gonna this next segment isn't gonna take very long. I just kind of wrote out who the top 5 at the positions are as we stand with 4 weeks left and what we thought about them if we think anybody's gonna jump in there. So you should know these names by now and kind of know the standings. But your top 5 quarterbacks right now are Mahomes, Big Ben, Drew Brees, Jared Goff, and Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's kind of been on a free fall lately. I don't know if you've been paying attention. He is not putting up the numbers we have been accustomed to this year. So I'm going to say that as the standings look right now, I had it up, and for some reason I clicked off it. Yeah, Matt Ryan's number 5. I think that Andrew Luck will finish the year as a top 5 quarterback, who is currently number 7, 15 points behind Matt Ryan.
How far behind is Deshaun?
I was going to ask if you thought Deshaun would make that leap. He is 34 points out of 5th place.
And how many games do we have left?
We have
here?
4 weeks left.
4 weeks of regular season, 3 weeks of our fantasy.
Yeah.
If you play to week 16, which you should.
But the problem is, Ethan, I just like he has a good week, but then he puts up 9. Like,
that's bullshit.
So these are Deshaun's next 3 games: Indy, at the Jets, at the Eagles. So those aren't scaring you.
No, he could definitely put up points, but I'm just saying to catch a quarterback, those guys are going to be putting up points still too. You're going to have to just really go off.
He had that one bad week, man, where he had 2 interceptions against a good Washington team. Well, a good Washington defense.
What about his game against Buffalo where he put up 5 points?
That's a tough Buffalo defense. You
It
laugh.
is proven.
But their defense
It is proven
good.
that their defense has.
At home.
Does Indy scare you?
That was a dumpster fire of a game, by the way.
Does Indy scare you? Yes or no?
No, they do not scare me.
Defensively, New York Jets.
No.
Breaking news into Fantasy and Shield.
I don't have a draft for it. But
Deshaun Jackson out for the season.
Later, dude.
Okay. I thought it was gonna be.
Well, that's going to affect a couple of the guys we're going to talk about in waiver wire. So
I'm just saying.
That's true.
It's possible. That's all I'm gonna say.
So my call is that Andrew Luck finishes the top 5 quarterback. Ethan's holding out hope that Deshaun Watson can shoot up there.
If he doesn't make 5, he's gonna make 6. Watch.
Cam Newton is currently 1 point behind Matt and Ryan, but he's a little banged up right now. I don't see him doing it.
Doesn't look good. I wanted to see more from him against Tampa Bay, and he threw 4 picks. His schedule is great for him to move up, but I just can't trust him right now. Even though I am.
How about Aaron Rodgers, who is currently quarterback number 9?
I think this next game will tell a lot.
We haven't even mentioned, but Coach Mike McCarthy, Matt's dad, got fired.
My uncle.
Your uncle.
That's another RIP.
His was a long time coming, but
I think Rodgers, probably threw that game last week. He's like, if we lose against the Cardinals, then for sure
they gotta fire.
Mike McCarthy's getting fired.
Yeah,
and that's what they did. But Zane Gonzalez, Deer Park native, kicking the game.
Yeah, got to give a shout out to our boy Zane. Had a rough start to the season when he was injured. People didn't know that. He had a strained, I think, groin when he was struggling with the Browns. But he is back. Your starting kicker for the Cardinals, kicking the game winner at Lambeau. What a moment.
Wow, dude.
Best football player Deer Park's ever had.
Feels good.
I guess, yeah, technically.
Yeah. He is. Let's go to running backs. Top 5 running backs right now. Todd Gurley, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, and James Conner. Now, I talked a little bit earlier that I think Phillip Lindsay, who is number 10, can shoot up all the way to 6. I don't think he would be able to pass up Elliott for 5th. So Elliott will pass up Connor here because Connor's out.
Yeah.
But other than that, no one else is going to jump in there. It's just too much to ask for.
Yeah, I got to give respect to Barkley too. I think at the beginning of the year I had him pretty around the 10 area. I thought he was going to kind of boom or bust. Like he was going to either break off a big touchdown or just not do much. And he's proved me wrong.
What he is able to do in spite of the team around him is pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's insane. And people were talking about how the Giants' offensive line was going to be so shit, which they probably are. It's just Barkley is that great of a talent. And
he is closing the gap on Todd. Well, not this last week. He lost ground. But before last week, he got outscored by 14 by Gurley, but he is only down 33 right now to Gurley. So take out those 14 points just got outscored by, and he's within 20 points of Gurley, which is pretty unbelievable.
It's looking good to be in the top, top 5 next year for sure, huh?
Oh yeah. I think your top 5 next year in no particular order is Gurley, Barkley, McCaffrey, Kamara, and Zeke.
McCaffrey's been doing so good.
Gotta give some respect to my boy Melvin too. He's missed 2 games.
Well, Matt, if he could stay on the field.
I'm saying he's missed 2 games, but he's still number 7. So I just had to throw that in there.
Really well this year.
Yeah.
Okay, but next year, would you take him over any of those 5 guys I just named?
I took him over McCaffrey. Yeah, that's the only one I think. Just because.
Let me read you McCaffrey's last 5 weeks: 30, 34, 14, 43, 28.
I know, but I don't know why I don't trust him. I don't know why. It's because their offense just scares me a little bit.
Is it because he's Le'Veon Bell White?
But he only got 10 carries last week. Granted,
All he needed.
He catches 12 passes a game.
He had like 110 yards on 9 carries or some shit.
The thing that I was watching Red Zone and they flashed the stat when they came back from halftime. He only touched the ball 5 times in the first half, or 8 times, 5 carries, 3 catches. That's why the Panthers were struggling. You have to give him the ball.
I think we've been saying that every week, and they don't. Well, hopefully they don't this week because I'm playing against him. But he is their offense, especially with Olsen out now. See, Derek's still in the chat saying McCaff fire, and then Boney's McJoney says because he's white.
McCaff fire. McCaffrey's tearing you up, Matt.
No, he is, but only down 9.
And Derek has Saquon Barkley, so that's a pretty salty 1-2 punch there.
I could just be salty that I drafted Dalvin Cook over him. So who knows?
Yeah. Let's hit on our wide receivers real quick. Top 5 wide receivers: Tyreek Hill, Adam Thielen, Antonio Brown, Devontae Adams, and Michael Thomas. I think by the end of the season, Antonio Brown will be number 1. He's only 12.4 back of Tyreek. I think Hopkins will get up into top 4 for sure. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Hopkins is number 6 right now.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
Yeah, I think the only surprising thing, I think this is the most chalk position we've had so far. The only thing is Thielen being number 2. No one could have predicted that.
The thing, Thielen and Tyreek Hill being 1 and 2, but
I guess
people still had him as top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest of the top 10 is basically the first 10 guys drafted.
I was reading, Hill. So I think Brown is number 2 in some leagues. So with number 1 and 2 being Hill and Brown, they're completely different players. Hill has had the 40-point games with a 5-point game. And then Brown's just been solid the entire, at least 15 points almost every game pretty much. So with those 2 guys, you probably want Brown on your team, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Juju.
Derek says Adam fire, too, because he has
That's
Thielen
crazy,
as well.
too, because Juju's in half point is number 10 right now, averaging just shy of 16 points per game, which is actually really good, too.
Juju's been good. He'll have to hold off Keenan Allen here, making a charge for top 10.
I think the Steelers were the first team in forever to have 2 guys at wide receiver that have 1,000 yards each.
Yes.
That's
since 2011.
11?
Yeah.
I believe so. He's been solid too. He's gonna go pretty high next year as well.
Juju was a solid pickup for me this year. Felt very happy.
Oh man, how did I forget?
Juju on that beat. Juju on that beat.
Hey, there you go.
Of course, you had to play it.
How could I forget?
Okay, I'll have this question for y'all. Next year's draft, does any wide receiver go in the first round?
Yes.
Who?
Antonio.
Do you think he still goes in the first round? Because it kind of fucked me this year doing that.
Well, it fucked you because you didn't take a wide receiver running back the second round, did you?
Oh, I did. He died week 2.
Okay. I forgot, but yeah. So that
Devontae Freeman.
That's not Antonio Brown going first round is not what fucked you.
No, but I'm saying if I do this all, I look up there and I say if I just went Saquon Barkley, Julio Jones, which I could have instead of Antonio Brown, Devontae Freeman, I'd be in the playoffs right now.
Yeah,
coulda, woulda, shoulda, man.
That's you basing on your second round pick too, though.
Well, I would have taken Julio Jones.
If you go Antonio Brown, Christian McCaffrey,
I couldn't.
If you go Antonio Brown, I don't know.
I couldn't. I like looking at the board. There's no other running back I would have taken there. Maybe Joe Mixon, but he's been hurt half the time now too. But if I would have drafted the exact same 3rd through 16 and just switched my first to go Saquon, Julio, I'd be in the playoffs.
I think that's just based on this year's draft, though. You weren't wrong going Antonio Brown first round.
Nah, I don't think you made a bad decision. I mean,
Just would have been.
hindsight's always 20/20, man. I mean,
Okay, so we have a guy in our league. He went I said our league, in my other league, that went no running back strategy. He's in first place now, scoring the most points by far.
What running backs did he pick up?
Oh, you're gonna make me look. But I think he had Antonio Brown, or let me just find him real quick. So he has DeAndre, Michael Thomas. Those are his wide receivers, and he has. Oh, he traded for Zeke, but he has Lamar Miller, Eckler, Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen was big for him.
So he hit on his late running backs.
Yeah, but you have to hit on something.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I had a lot of hits. I missed on my 2nd round pick, which screwed me.
Yeah, it'll screw a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, that's kind of a quick wrap up of our top 5 guys. Who's going to sneak in there?
R.I.P. Cooper Kupp.
Oh, Coop, man.
Still hurts, man.
I forgot you had him as well. Yeah,
He was good,
If I
man.
had Cooper Kupp right now, I'd be flying high, dude.
I didn't even factor him into what I was saying earlier. So I told Matt earlier that I had my 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th round picks go on the IR. Well, let me add my 7th round pick to that also with Cooper Kupp. 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7 went on the IR.
I got Cooper in the 12th round. I thought I got a huge steal. Huge.
Wait, I got Cooper Kupp in the 10th.
I was about to say Cooper Kupp had to go a lot later than that.
2, 3, 4, 6, and 10 IR for me.
Yeah,
that's rough.
I'm down with C Cups, dog. You know.
That's fantasy though. Sometimes, some years you'll hit, some years you'll be unlucky.
It's just that, man. That's ugh.
Wow. Derek, if you're listening, what are you gonna do with your money when you win? You can answer that.
Dude, Derek, I'm beating him. So with his $200,
with his $1,200,
with my $1,200, I don't know. I'll let you know.
All right, let's get to our waiver wire real quick.
Waiver claims.
Waiver claims.
Waiver claims.
Waiver claim.
We just talked about breaking news. Deshaun Jackson probably out for the season. So let's talk about Adam Humphries, who has 5 touchdowns in his last 5 games, and Mr. Waiver Wire, Chris Godwin. He had over 100 yards and a touchdown last game. So both of these guys have been productive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been starting Humphries.
Excited about that though.
Who would you rather have?
Humphries.
Godwin.
I think I'd rather have Humphries.
Really?
Humphries has had 5 touchdowns in 5 games and at least 50 yards.
Pretty solid.
Godwin hasn't been. I mean, Godwin was, making the waiver claims territory at the beginning of the year, pretty much every single week, and now it's been Humphries.
Right now, Godwin is in half-point PPR, is averaging 10.3 points a game. He's at number 26.
Yes, he's solid too.
And Humphries is at number 29 at 9.9. Now, so it looks like Humphries has been coming on fairly strong.
Humphries came on strong.
So if we're going with the trend here, Humphries might be the play.
I've been starting my other league. That's a last resort kind of thing. I picked him up off waivers, and I have to. But he's been doing me solid so far.
That's rough.
I mean, why not?
Real quick, Dr. Dartez asked the question that we asked earlier. He didn't want to answer it, so he's going to ask us the question: should he start Brady or Dak? I recommend you don't answer this question since I'm playing him. So,
Matt, you don't have to answer because you're obviously biased.
Oh, Derek, DM me.
No, you can answer it. Answer right now, Ethan. I'm gonna answer it.
You go first. I'm looking at something. In order to answer the question.
Would start.
So Dak is playing
Tom
Philly.
Brady.
Tom Brady's playing Miami.
Dak Prescott has Philly at home. Tom Brady is at Miami. You got to go with Tommy, Derek. You're trying to win the matchup. This is week 2. Tommy's your boy. You drafted him to do this. Got to go with Brady.
I have a feeling that Brady's going to drop at least 3 TDs.
Oh.
2 to my boy Flash. Mark it down. It's going to happen.
Ooh. I have room on my board.
I'm feeling at least 3 touchdowns.
We got to get at least one Whataburger bet this year.
I still owe you for last year's Whataburger.
I got paid. I got paid by Brady.
You owe me.
I owe one of you guys Whataburger.
Right.
But either way, well, I've been eating your Whataburger. I've been buying it. I've just been eating it.
There you go.
So
I say
Derek,
drop them both.
Start Tom Brady. You'll be marching to the championship.
Championship.
All right.
TJ, who's your mama?
Move on.
Next guy we talked about already, Jeff Wilson Jr. He is going to be the 49ers starter this week. He had 134 total yards combined last week. Like I said, I liked what I saw from him. I think this is a guy you can plug in and play in your flex. So,
yeah, he looked pretty solid, honestly. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, probably did, that they're playing Denver, and Denver's defense has been coming on late. But if it's just him and they're probably activating Alfred Morris this week, Morris, you can tell they don't trust him since they haven't been playing him.
Kind of.
Denver's the kind of matchup where you could kind of keep it close with them because their offense isn't that great. The problem with Seattle last week was they just started getting blown out. They couldn't run the ball as much.
but he still put up, I think he had like 76 yards receiving or something.
Yeah.
So.
He had over 100 yards from scrimmage, which is you'll take that every time from a flex play.
Okay, next one is Oakland running back Jalen Richard. The thing that stood out this week is usually he's been just catching the passes and Doug Martin's been running the ball. He had 95 yards rushing this week for Oakland against Kansas City. So I think out of those two, I would rather have Richard than Dougie Fresh.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jeff Wilson.
Dougie.
Than who?
I thought you were going to say than Jeff Wilson.
Oh, no, I'd rather have Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd rather have Richard too. Because they are playing the Steelers, and you saw what happened when you try to run against the Steelers with Eckler. It doesn't work. Wah, wah, wah.
We already talked about him already. Jalen Samuels in, James Conner out.
John Connor.
So Matt,
Chopper.
would you rather have, and Ethan, would you rather have Jalen Samuels or Jeff Wilson starting this week?
I go Samuels.
Oh, Samuels for sure.
For sure, huh?
Yeah.
I go Samuels. Yeah. Much
Better offense.
matchup.
Yeah, I'm starting him in my flex this week, so. Not that my matchup matters at all, but it's fun.
Why not?
It's fun to pretend. I get eliminated from playoffs and I score 150, 125, and 138. So
Hey man, don't stop believing, okay?
I can still squeak in, you know. I am the commissioner. I can press some buttons.
Okay.
I'll be there.
You never know what's gonna happen, kid.
Just a couple clicks of the mouse, you know.
You've already got a bad reputation as it is. I wouldn't be risking.
Matt, chaos is a ladder. I'm just feeding into it.
You're creating the chaos, though.
Next guy we already talked about also, Dante Pettis. I just put he's an upside ad. Like we said, he can boom or he can bust. He's had 2 booms in a row. Boom, boom. Is it going to be boom, boom, pow or boom, boom, bust?
Or boom, boom, fuck.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Was that for busting?
Yeah, or creaming.
Oh, okay.
Either way. I don't know.
Theo Riddick shows up again on the list. He's continuing to be productive with Kerryon Johnson out. Now, Kerryon Johnson might be back this week, so you need to check that news. But Theo Riddick's out there. LeGarrette Blount, who had 16 carries for 61 yards. The reason I list both of them If Carrion is out, they play Arizona Cardinals this week, who does not have the best run defense. So, who are you starting out of that? Last week we said LeGarrette Blount. Are you still riding with Blount over Riddick?
Well, you'd have to go with the Blunt standard.
Ooh.
Riddick PPR half point and up.
Okay.
That's what you'd have. That's the safe answer. Now I'm having said that, I'm gonna go with Blunt no matter what. How about that?
Okay.
Put my notes out there.
I agree with Ethan there. I'm going Blunt no matter what, even if it is PPR, because the only way Theoretic's catching balls is if they got to play catch up, and they're not playing catch up against the Cardinals unless you're the Packers.
Cardinals just beat the Packers. So.
Well,
Are
we've
the
already
Lions just
talked about.
Are the Lions just not the weirdest team to you? Like, I cannot get a grasp on that team at all. There's something about that team that I cannot.
Like, they have a lot of talent, but they don't.
Sometimes they put it together,
Yeah.
and sometimes they really don't. You know, like
it's like the Packers.
It's such a grab bag. They're the most random team. Like they can beat the Patriots, or they could lose. You know, they're just weird, man. Weird.
I agree.
Weird. I can't. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just like whatever. Anyway.
How about in Kansas City with we talked about the skill position, the weapons dropping like flies. Chris Conley has remained strong. He has 3 touchdowns in his last 2 games.
Woo.
Sammy Watkins has been out. Kareem Hunt is gone.
I think
Chris
we all
Conley's
can
kind
agree.
of filling the void a little bit.
We can all agree if Sammy Watkins is out, he's worth playing. Or no, I don't know about worth playing, but he's a startable guy.
If Sammy Watkins is in, he's worth playing.
I mean, they're scoring lots of points, so good shot right there.
Yeah, good offense, but if Sammy Watkins playing, Sammy Watkins going off for 40 points. No.
At least 4 points.
No, but Conley didn't do much when Watkins was playing. That's the only reason I say that. So if Watkins is out,
how about Curtis Samuel, wide receiver for the Panthers, had 6 catches for 88 yards.
Woof.
Yeah, I'm not trusting him. I think it benefits from Olsen being out, but
speaking of Olsen being out, Ian Thomas is your new Carolina Panthers starting tight end. If you're feeling lucky,
why do we have?
I mean, you're basically reaching in a grab bag for a tight end, anyways. Might as well pull out Ian Thomas.
I mean, why not?
That's what I was gonna say. Why do we have like a random ass tight end every single week of waivers?
We had like Hireman. We have had kind of a random tight end every week.
If this isn't proven that like you.
Speaking of random tight end, in our league, the Greg Olsen owner, the old Vance McDonald's coming back.
He's coming back this week. Yeah,
he's starting.
That's the thing. So at some point, if you don't have the top 5 tight ends, just stream them. Be like as it is a defense.
I'm riding with Cameron Brate right now.
Yeah, you're welcome. I dropped him for you.
Well, I had Jack Doyle, so. Then I had Kyle Rudolph, and then I had Evan Ingram before that.
You're proving our point right now that
they all suck.
No matter who you get, if it's not Kelsey Ertz or even pretty much it, Kelsey Ertz or Kittle, I guess.
Gronk Kittle,
yeah. What the fuck? Why did
Grant Kittle?
No.
Which one?
What is Siri telling you over there?
Siri wants to talk right now about tight ends.
What?
I don't know.
How about Justin Jackson, who Matt went ahead and grabbed in our league since he's a Gordon Eckler owner? He looked pretty good, 82 yards and a touchdown.
On how many carries?
He didn't have it. I think I don't know.
But he looked a lot better running the ball than Eckler.
Okay. Can I speak on that? Since I actually watched this game, and a lot of people on Reddit agree with me, that if you watch Eckler, every time he touched the ball, there was a guy on him instantly. Like, their line was just shit. And then towards the end, they started giving Justin Jackson the ball. And for some reason, the seas parted.
What are you implying?
I'm implying that it's probably going to be a running back by committee next week.
I don't know. I'm kind of looking deeper into that. I think you're implying something else, but I don't know.
No, I don't think either one of them are worth. I mean, I might have to start one of them just because I'm in a shitty position, but you're not feeling safe starting either one.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're looking. I'm looking into that. I need Melvin Gordon to play next week.
I kept thinking Eckler was white. He's just light skinned, so the narrative's ruined.
Okay. No, god damn it. Let's move on. Every time.
How about Bruce Ellington? 26 targets his last 3 games on those crazy Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
There's a homeless man in my
Look
house.
at this guy.
He's just taking over.
Get to work on time.
Ethan says get to work on time.
Can't, man. We'll see.
Hey, you can do anything you want on your last day, Turk.
He said you can do anything you want on your last day, so.
Yeah.
But seriously, man, you're fired. Yeah.
You heard it here first on Fantasy and Chill.
All right, Bruce
Save the
Ellington.
best for last here.
Wait, I didn't get
Your league. Your what?
Bruce Ellington.
What? Oh, I didn't know you had thoughts about Bruce Ellington. Do
I
you
got
have
thoughts
any
about everyone, man.
thoughts about Bruce?
I just don't want
Listen,
any part of the.
I'm about to
of
go on a
Lions,
15-minute
man.
rant about Bruce Ellington. All right. He's
I
just
don't feel good.
he's just taking
I
over
don't
Golden
feel
Tate's spot.
good
I'll
about
keep
That's it.
talking at the
Lions.
same time, and I can't hear you.
Let's move on.
The last guy on the waiver list, like we said earlier, this could be a league-winning quarterback if you pick him up. Josh Allen. He is your number 1 quarterback the last 2 weeks. Number 1.
Yeah. We already talked about him.
Crazy.
Who's your
But-
quarterback, Ethan?
I have
quarterback?
Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers.
Just saying, he's
out
he's
there.
been better.
Now you know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna pick up Josh Allen. I'm gonna throw him in there, and I'm gonna get 12.4 points.
Was better than Matt Ryan last week.
We're gonna do it.
What the hell? But real
I have
quick,
nothing to lose. I'm down by 1 point right now.
I'm gonna
Matt,
ask
let me
y'all.
talk to you too. You got a questionable, banged up quarterback that just threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah. But he's still got me 16 points.
Just think if he didn't throw 4 interceptions.
He's playing Cleveland. Cleveland's not that great. But I was going to ask, so I think I'm still starting Cam Newton over Josh Allen is probably what you're going to ask. And I'm assuming Ethan agrees that he's going to be starting Aaron Rodgers over Josh Allen.
I have this weird feeling that Aaron Rodgers is all of a sudden going to be able to play football again.
Yeah, because he wanted to get his coach fired. That's what I was trying to say.
Got this really weird feeling like he's going to come back and put up a 30 burger. Maybe not 30 burger, but it's going to be pretty close to it. That's just I got that gut feeling. So
He's got a great matchup against the Falcons. So
yeah, we're going to Atlanta. It's gonna be righteous.
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
Easy.
Okay, Ryan.
The people that put out rankings on ESPN are not trusting Josh Allen. So
Of
Probably
course not.
because they're smarter than.
People that put out
People
rankings
that-
also play it safe 90% of the
Yeah.
time.
they do,
I
but
would
he's ranked.
agree with
They
them on
only
this.
rank their top 20 quarterbacks. 3 guys have him at 20, and 2 guys have him unranked.
I
I
would
think
put
he's
him
definitely a top 20 quarterback.
I'd put him
I think
around
he's better than. Yeah.
13.
I mean, I'm starting him over Eli. You know?
Eli did not make the
Yeah,
rankings, so
Oh, okay.
Would
well,
you
there
start
go.
him over Russell
Derek Carr.
Wilson against Minnesota?
yes.
Yes.
Jared Goff against Chicago?
I got.
Ooh, that's a
No.
tough one. All right.
Jared Goff no matter what. I
No,
think.
I gotta go with Jared Goff.
Okay, and I'm guessing the top 10, you're probably, or the top 10 of their rankings at least, probably going to stay that way. But so around number 12, number 11.
Okay.
But I'm also starting Tom Brady over him. So
Okay, so yeah, around number, like I said, around number 15. I think that's safe.
yeah.
Good quarterback too.
So that is Fantasy and Chill Week 13. Playoffs are underway.
playoffs.
If you didn't start them last week, you start them this week. So hopefully you've got all your ducks in a row. Got all your players, got your handcuffs, got your handcuffs for your handcuffs.
Handcuffs.
All that good stuff. As we wrap it up, go to Instagram. Follow us at Fantasy and Chill on Instagram, at Fantasy and Chill on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube at Fantasy and Chill. Go to your podcast app, subscribe Fantasy and Chill so you can listen to us. We are continuing to answer your questions on Instagram every Sunday morning, and then through the week, I try to hit up the people that are sending us some DMs on who to start. Try to answer. I miss a couple of them just because they just kind of, it's hard to keep up with all of them. But
I actually went live for about 30 minutes on Sunday on Instagram too, answering some questions.
Okay. But Matt is putting out those pictures that y'all comment on, so keep asking questions. Only a few weeks left, boys. Fantasy season always goes by quick.
Too quick, man.
Too quick. I'm already looking forward to next year's draft.
Hell yeah. Well, that's because you're in the playoffs. But
as we wrap up Fantasy and Chill for the year, we'll keep putting out, your standard episodes through the end of the season. And then make sure you tune in the week after as we have our Fantasy and Chill second annual awards show. Big hit last year.
Yeah, big hit.
Roll out the red carpet.
The black tie event.
The virtual black carpet. Maybe we can have we can do something on, something a little bit more special this time.
I agree.
I don't know.
Maybe a little on-site.
Like
a little on-site. Maybe we can get some Whataburger, some passage of Whataburger.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah. Or maybe we just had some Whataburger period,
I thought we were a Whataburger podcast now.
We are a Whataburger podcast. Brought to you by the Patty Melt.
After we recorded last week, I went and got me a honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, some fries,
preach,
a Coke.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Did you what size that though?
I kept it a medium. Their mediums are already pretty big,
They are. I mean, I'm a little bit, I'm over a couple. I weigh more than a couple bucks, so Daddy likes to go large.
See, I'm a medium. I'm a medium kind of guy,
Nah, okay. I think. I mean, yeah. Yeah. After the first of the year, we're going back on a diet. That's all I gotta say.
You going keto, Guido?
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna go clean, dog. Real clean.
Hate to be the Debbie Downer of Whataburger, but we're cutting it close to my time that I gotta go.
We're done. Unless you have any other thoughts here, Matt, and try to ruin a good time,
Yeah, well, we'll have the Whataburger podcast after the season.
Yeah, why don't you go win your basketball game?
Fuck me. I'll be eating Whataburger too. All right, get out of here.
Hope you miss all your free throws like normal.
Yeah, I have something to say about that. Yeah.
What, Matt? All right, you done? Yeah.
Go. Yeah.
Stop over there. Okay. On that note, good luck this week. We out.
Rock 'em.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
You stupid. You